Hi everyone, my name is Julie Turner and I'm the corporate sales and marketer for MBH Settlements here in the DC area for Maryland, Virginia, and DC. Wanted to come on today. I have a special guest with me, Alex Navarro. He is one of our senior leading mortgage officers with Intercoastal Mortgage. I'm so happy to have him here with me today. So both he and I will be discussing several things that are going on in our industry, both in the mortgage as well as what's going on in title with MBH Settlement. And yeah, so thank you so much, Alex, for joining me today. I really appreciate your time and always love seeing your face.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's great seeing you as well, and glad to have this opportunity to discuss kind of how things are going right now in this world we live in with a lot of adjustments needing to be made. So happy to be here with you.
Thank you again. So Alex, tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself to the world, and let us know how you got into the mortgage industry as well as who you work for. And yeah, so.
Sure. So I started in the mortgage industry in September of '93, actually. Wow. So this will be my, I guess, 27th year. And the way I got in was very interesting. I used to work at a country club. So while I was in college, I worked at Fairfax Country Club. And so I knew, I knew a lot of the members and was friendly with a few of them. And somebody happened to just introduce me to he was actually an owner of a mortgage company. And so I got an interview with them. I obviously had no experience in that business, but the rest is history. I just, I guess I did fine in the interview, and then from there, just got going in the business. Started out slow, and it's been great. It's been a very, very fulfilling career for sure. So I'll actually turn it back on you, and you can tell me a little bit about yourself. I know that you did a little bit in the intro, and just kind of tell me, how you got in the kind of the title world.
Right. So I actually started off this amazing journey as a real estate agent. Back in 2012, I became an agent, totally green, and gave it a go, and was then from there introduced to what is a title company. After several years, I ended up becoming a representative for a local title agency. And I knew a lot of connections from just being an agent myself and just helping me to build my book of business, and also giving me the understanding and empathy of what an agent really needed, because I have been an agent on the front end. From there, I actually even went on as far as to go on the underwriting side of things too. So for several years, I worked as a regional rep for a title underwriter. And so I absolutely was able to learn the whole spectrum of a transaction, from an agent to the title to the underwriting side. So that was really great, and just meeting all the people that I have been able to meet, and CEOs of title companies, agents, brokerages, loan mortgage officers. It's just been such a great journey to meet so many people in the real estate industry and to really learn truly all aspects of a real estate transaction. So now back over onto this side of title, I'm the corporate sales and marketer for MBH Settlements, and it's been fantastic. I absolutely love our company. We are located in 20 different locations throughout the DC area. We're licensed in all jurisdictions, and it's been a fabulous ride, and mostly just because of the people that I've been able to meet and the people I've been able to help.
Great. Awesome.
So tell us a little bit about how you, as a senior mortgage officer, as well as Intercoastal Mortgage, your company that you work for, how you guys been able to navigate a little bit about, obviously with COVID going on, our industry is such a personable industry. I mean, we love to meet with people. It's a people person industry. And so it's really been different for us to navigate in servicing our clients and things like that. So tell us a little bit about what you and Intercoastal have been doing to continue the awesome work that you've been doing to navigate around COVID.
Sure. So, I mean, we've been incredibly fortunate in the mortgage world because of the fact that rates have been so low. So obviously it's kept our business going. Obviously, I feel for the folks that have lost their job or, you know, have just been out of work, you know, not necessarily losing their job, but losing hours and things like that. So we've been very fortunate because rates have been very low. Had it not been the case where, you know, rates went up or who knows, it could have changed things. So the beautiful part is that most folks in the real estate world, for the most part, can do almost everything online. Right. So there is it's great. It's very convenient. It's quick. It's efficient. So it's allowed us to be, you know, very, very mobile, I guess, if you will. Good. And in that sense, right, in the kind of in the technology world. So it really hasn't affected us negatively. The only thing I would say that what's happened is because rates are so low, it has created a tremendous capacity issue. So what that's done, it's good in some senses, right? Because we've had to hire more people, so that's good. We've been able to be one of the leaders in I guess job creation or allowing people to get jobs. But it's put a tremendous stress on just on everybody in all areas, in the title world, well, I'll let you talk about that, but definitely from the mortgage side, it's created some some servicing issues, meaning that you and I've tried to do this with my clients is create talk to them about expectations and what's going on, and this is why I guess industry wide you're seeing this real kind of just difficulty dealing with the amount of volume. But the reality is, and our company Intercoastal has been very good about this, is when we've had to push out, and it's just refinances, of course, right? Purchases have dates that have to be hit, so we have to move them to we have to move refinances if a purchase comes up, and we always do that because we don't miss any settlement dates on purchases. They're critical. So, but it's definitely created a little bit of a, it's definitely created some difficulty, just like I said, because of the volume. So it's been very, it's just been that part of it has just been a little bit difficult just because of the volume. Right.
And it's all about just making sure that we set those boundaries and those expectations on all parties that are involved in the transaction, right? With the agent, with the loan officer, with the title agency, and with our buyers and sellers, and just educating them on what's going on in the industry right now. With everything going on with COVID, and like you said, it's heartbreaking to hear of all the people that are getting furloughed, losing their jobs, and things like that. But in the DC area, our real estate industry has been booming, especially with the refi boom, which is great. I mean, I'm thankful for it because hopefully that'll help the economy to continue to chug away. However, we still do need to make sure that we set those expectations.
Yeah, and that's right, and that's the part of it with what I was mentioning before, and part of your question regarding servicing clients. I mean, and it's you just have to be very. You just got to tell people up front what's going on so that they're not
open communication, which you always do. Every time I work with you, you are very open, communicative. Communication is very open. You're always very pleasant to work with, and you're always so on top of everything. You really are. So that's what I've experienced with you, Alex.
Thank you. You as well. I mean, we're people that are positive and always have a smile on our face and always look at things as the glass half full rather than half empty. So no doubt.
Yes. But over at MBH, so for what we do during this COVID time, we want to make sure, and one of our things that I appreciate, again, so much about our company is that we really implement safety guidelines and obviously follow CDC guidelines to the fullest in our offices. We disinfect between each closing. Our offices are all still open for our settlements, so we do disinfect between each closing. We use one-usage pens. We have masks and gloves and sanitizer to be used and offered to all of our clients. We make sure that only the main principal people that are there to sign are there to sign. You know, unfortunately in settlement, it was always a celebratory event, and you would bring your cousin and your mom and your dad and your neighbor's dog. And so unfortunately now we are having to put a little bit of restriction on who's coming to closing, but obviously for the safety of our employees and the safety of our clients as well. One thing I love to boast about MBH Settlements too is that we are very on top of all of our technology. Per the loan officer or mortgage company that we work with, we've ensured that we can and have the ability to have a e-settlement. We have e-notary, we have e-recordings, so we can truly and do a settlement electronically, 100%. We even have an app that's called Bank Shot that allows our agents to submit the EMD electronically over their smartphone, which is amazing. It takes 2 seconds. So we really put the technology in place to make sure that we can have a seamless closing without the clients even ever coming into the office. But like I said, if they do have to come into the office, we make sure that we are following the strict CDC guidelines, disinfecting, providing the pens and gloves and masks and things like that. So it's been really nice to continue to work and service our clients, but in a very safe manner.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about what you, as a senior mortgage officer at Intercoastal Mortgage, do to, I guess, what do you look for in a vendor partner or a business partner, i.e. the real estate agent or with the title company? What do you look for in order to make sure that you can service your clients in a very smooth transaction?
Sure. So, well, one of the things that I mainly look for is can the person deliver, right? So, you know, a lot of people talk a big game, but, you know, as you start to work with people, you quickly find out whether somebody is just, you know, all talk or they're truly action. In other words, are they able to deliver on what they say they're going to do?
Right.
And what I found, thankfully, with working with MBH and other titles companies as well, so unfortunately I don't pick them on the purchase side, is that the partners I work with, like yourself, I'm always impressed that, you know, just going above and beyond what needs to be done, and in this time particularly where it is extremely important to be able to be flexible and, you know, but safe, and, you know, having the client feel comfortable with everything that you're proposing, because there's genuine fear out there. There's some people that are very, very fearful, and, you know, they just want to make sure that, you know, what are we going to do to help them to, you know, mitigate that fear as best we can. So the partners I deal with take all of those things into consideration, and that's important to me. But yeah, first and foremost, delivery, and then after that is it's how professional they are, how responsive they are, how we were talking about before, how communicative they are, how they're letting people know. Because the reality is that you always have to set expectations in our business,
Right.
and in the real estate world. You have to be able to tell people, and you got to tell them quickly. So, if you have bad news, you have to be able to deliver it and be able to offer a solution. What can be done? Is it fixable? And if it's not fixable, okay, sometimes that happens if it's not fixable. But again, communication is key. So just getting in there quickly and letting people know. And like I said, just setting those expectations, I think is probably the most helpful thing. And yeah, so how about you? How do you look for a partner? What are your expectations from a partner?
Right.
And
so you really hit everything on the head with your answer. But for me too, I think is finding someone who is open and building a mutually beneficial relationship. I always say that up front when I meet a new vendor, or if I'm working with a vendor, it's all about what can we do together to continue to build a relationship that's mutually beneficial. What can I do to help bring you a great client? And what can you do to help us have a great client? And if you can find someone, I think that you really like to work with, because it is about personality and character and things like that, and having kind of the same bar standard set, and making sure, like you said, they're being, they deliver, they're professional, they're open communicative, their communication is open. I think those are the key items that happen that both parties can really appreciate, but then continue to move forward and build that mutually beneficial relationship. For me, it's about the mutually beneficial relationship, but definitely key item is communication. Even when we don't have an answer, to still pick up the phone and say, hey, I know that it's a day later, but we still don't have an answer, but I just want to let you know that we don't have an answer. Just saying that kind of eases some of our clients' minds, and knowing that we're on top of it. We're staying on top of it. But again, like you said, just everyone in the industry, whether it's an agent, whether it's a loan officer, whether it's a title company, just setting those expectations and delivering and keeping open communication. Well, tell us, last but not least, what is it about you individually, Alex? I already know the answer, but what is it individually about you, Alex, as to why someone should choose you as the senior mortgage officer at Intercoastal Mortgage to help them with their loan or refi or whatever other services that you provide as well. You let us know, but tell us why we should choose you and what you do to stand out from the rest.
all right. So, I always tell people when somebody asks me that question, I always say that what separates you is you, right? So there's only one of you out there. And I think that, that is really what I think, of course, differentiates me from everybody else, right? There's only one of me. And not to boast or anything, but I just, I really think about that when I'm dealing with people. I think about, they're only dealing with me. So I'm going to give them everything that I can to be the best that I can be. I've been in the business a long time, like I mentioned at the beginning. So I'm not concerned that I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm not even concerned that will come across, because it's not, because I do know what I'm doing. But I think that ultimately the way you know, the way you are and the way you conduct yourself is what ultimately separates you from the competition. And if you're good at what you do, you have the knowledge, you have the optimism, you communicate, then I think that you're just going to stand out to people, right? So if given the fact that you look at the industry and the way it is, there's tons of title companies, there's tons of mortgage loan officers, there's tons of everything, builders, all the appraisers, all those that support our industry. You know, ultimately what separates them is kind of what you mentioned earlier. You're dealing with people here, you're dealing with individuals. So even no matter how mobile we go or how technology oriented we get, or technology heavy, I should say, it always comes back to how you are as a person, and people are dealing with people that they like and they enjoy working with. And of course, you know, I was talking to somebody the other day about a religious organization, and one of the things that somebody told me, or somebody asked me one time, is like, why do you think they're very successful? And I said, well, the reason they're successful is because they try to get to know the person, try to get to be friendly with them, and not in an unnatural way, right? I mean, we're social beings. We enjoy that communication and that you know, that closeness with other people. So it's a very natural fit when the closer you get to somebody, you learn more about their family, about what are the things that you know, make them tick, and what are the things that are important to them. And once you get to know all those things, then you have the ability to then say, wow, I'm a lot like that, or you know what, I'm not like that. And that's why I always tell people too, don't sweat too much if somebody doesn't do business with you, right? Because you're not going to be everything to everyone. Not everybody, as much as we think, you know, how could anyone not want to do business with me? But it happens. I mean, your personality, your whatever it is, they just may not like it. It could be something very, very quirky. It could be something, you know, that just, it's you. It's what makes you you. So ultimately, you know, be yourself, but just try to be the best of yourself, you know, and look for ways to, and if you're not sure, you know, ask for feedback. You know, you're talking to people, and basically as they start to communicate with you, they can help you, right? If you're not getting business and you're like, why am I not getting business? You know, talk to somebody who you trust, who will honestly tell you, hey, you know what, you know, you do this one thing and it's super annoying, you know, because sometimes, you know, we're not perfect, and we're not, we sometimes don't see our blind spots, and that's why we have people in our life that we, you know, love and trust, and we count on them to tell us, hey, you know what, maybe just, you know, don't talk too much, or you know, listen more, or whatever it is, things can be fixed, and everybody can be successful if they embrace who they are, and figure out ways to better themselves in the areas that they need to improve on, and kind of emphasize the things that they're very good at, you know, because it's great to also talk to people that tell you, you know what, you're really, really good at this. Really emphasize that. Try to get better at that, and that helps a lot too. So, you know, so I'll ask, of course, the same of you. You know, what separates Julie from everybody else?
Again, you hit very, very key elements, and I like what you said about just self-development and making sure that, obviously, you know, I've been in the industry now for almost 10 years. And I hope that I have some knowledge of real estate and title, but I still have so much more to learn, you know, and I think for me, it's about being open-minded, and continuing to learn more about my craft. It's about every morning I wake up and I ask myself, how can I bring value? What can I do to bring value to my business partner, whether it's a loan officer, to my agent, and just being there and being open to them and understanding them and having empathy for their position, and trying to understand their question or their need, and to do my very best ability to service that need. And also to be humble enough to say, you know, Alex, I don't have an answer to that question. However, I'm going to go and find that answer for you and come back to you. Yeah. So just being genuine and letting them know that I'm here for them, letting them know that we are professional, letting them know that if I don't have the answer directly, I will find the answer for them. And just making sure that I give the best customer service. And I know that's so cliche, right? To give the best customer service. But at the end of the day, it's not even about, it's about delivering, like you said earlier. You know, it's about making sure that when that agent or that buyer or seller picks up the phone and they can call us and they have a question or a concern or a need, that we can be there for them and support them and provide guidance, and do the very best that we can do to bring our professionalism and service to them. So that's what I feel like I do. I love people. I love working with people. I have a true and honest, genuine feeling of wanting to help people, to be honest. Just so I love it. That's why I think I separate myself from the next.
Awesome. Great stuff.
So thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate you sharing with us your position at Intercoastal Mortgage, how you service and help your clients. I can attest to working with you and just you always being there for our clients, being so professional and obviously very well full of knowledge about the mortgage industry. Tell us how we can get a hold of you and how you can help all the people in the DC area to obtain a loan or a refi or whatever. Let us know your contact information.
Yes. So the easiest way to reach me is by email, and that's navarro@icmtg.com. So it's A and then N as in Nancy, A, V as in Victor, ARRO at IC and then M as in Mary, TG.com. So, and you know, I don't mind giving my you know, of course, my work number. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. It's funny, I have to look it up. I don't call myself at work. So it's 703-364-5641. 703-364-5641. And how about you? What's the best way for somebody to get a hold of Julie?
Sure. So my email at MBH Settlements is J as in jump, Turner, TURNER @mbh.com. Again, it's J Turner, TURNER @mbh.com. Feel free to email me any questions that you may have on an up and coming contract, both seller and buyer side. We do residential, we do commercial, we do refis, we do short sales. We do it all. So we have 20 amazing managing attorneys within our office locations that are here to help as well. It's great to have the support of a real estate attorney. So feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to help you with your transaction. And again, Alex, thank you so much for your time today. I always love seeing your face.
Yes.
And I appreciate
yours as well.
You. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Have a great day.
You have an awesome day as well.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.